All right, guys, Darren from FBA Elite, and welcome back to another video. So one area that I see a lot of Amazon sellers get stuck on or maybe misinterpret, and that is Amazon keyword research. So this isn't product research. We're not trying to find products. This is keyword research. So we're trying to find the best possible keywords for your product listing and for your PPC campaign. So if you're creating your product listings, this will help. Even if you've got a product, this will help you re-optimize those listings. And if you've got PPC campaigns that you want to optimize or set up, hopefully this video will help. So I worked with hundreds of people over the past few years through the mentoring program on FBA Elite. So I see a lot of different collections of keyword lists that people have put together. And I see a lot of common themes where people go wrong. So in this video, I'm going to try and push you guys in the right direction to help you optimize your listings and your PPC campaigns correctly. Also stick around to later on in the video as I'm going to be sharing the most important tip when it comes to keyword optimization and finding the right keywords. So make sure you stick about for that tip because it's massively important. Now, the good thing is I can use a real world product for this. As you guys know, I used to sell a car boot liner. So I can do this with the real world product and talk you through exactly how I do this. So let's go to Amazon first. Let's just show you guys a boot liner. I'm sure you all know what they are by now. So you pop them in the boot and they protect your car boot from either dogs or dirt or whatever you put into your boot. So let's imagine that you're going to start selling this product. So you want to optimize your listing and you want to set up your PPC campaigns. So you want to start doing your keyword research. Well, there are 3 different things I recommend you should do. The first is absolutely free. So just go to Amazon, and the reason this technique is really good as it's using the most up-to-date Amazon information available, as we're using Amazon's own data directly from Amazon. So we go to the search bar on the top and then we start kind of brainstorming different ideas that we think could be relevant to the product that we're looking to launch. So you might come on here and you put in car boot, and all of a sudden we've got car boot organizer, probably not relevant to this product. Car boot protector, yes. Car boot liners for dogs, car boot protector for dogs, car boot mat, possibly car boot liners. So you take all of those keywords and then you pop them into Excel, into a generic spreadsheet, or into a text document, and we can analyze them later. But if they are in the Amazon auto suggest, they are almost certainly got a reasonable amount of search volume, and they're going to be worth including in either your PPC campaign or within your product listing. Don't include them just for the sake of it. Make sure they are relevant. And that is one area where I see a lot of people go wrong. They think keyword research is about coming up with the longest list possible, which isn't the case. You want to have the most relevant list possible. The most important metric for Amazon is sales, and the following metric from that is conversion. So you want the best possible conversion rates for your product. Now, there might be an obscure keyword that you're loosely related to. So for example, maybe for this, you'd have something like car accessories. So every now and again, there might be a customer who searches for car accessories and buys a boot liner. But that won't give you the best conversion rate because there's going to be a lot of people searching for car accessories who have no interest in a boot liner and will be buying other products. So it's really important you use relevant keywords because the key metric you need to keep in mind at all times is conversion rate. You want to maximize the amount of sales you make per customer, and your product has the best chance of appearing higher up in the search results. So just to show you how this could work, so for example, there we had with car boot, if we put in maybe boot liner, you can see here, boot liner for dogs, boot liner SUV, boot liner rubber. So if you had a fabric one, certainly don't go for that. And you see here, we're starting to include car models and manufacturers as well. So when I was actually selling this product, rather than having a huge PPC campaign with all of the variations for different cars and different manufacturers, I just put in boot liner as a phrase match, and that caught all of the variations. So usually I strongly recommend using exact match. However, in certain instances like this, something like boot liner as a phrase match can be really, really powerful because it will help you find all of those variations with how many hundreds of manufacturers and car models they are. So there's something to keep in mind when you're doing your keyword research, when you're creating your PPC campaign. Is exact match the best choice, or will phrase match be the best choice? So that's the first method, completely free, using Amazon Auto Suggest. And this is by far for me, I have found the best way to get really good quality keywords because you know what customers are actually searching for. So as long as you can be at least a little bit creative, you'll have really good success of this. If you're struggling for ideas, just search for car boot liners or something relevant to the product that you're going to be selling, and see what other people are doing. So if they're already on the front page of Amazon, then the chances are they're doing a pretty good job with their optimization already. So you can look in here and see maybe someone's got car boot protector, someone's got a pet boot liner. So there's various ways you can do that to get some ideas if you don't have the creativity to come up with your own ideas, which is absolutely fine. So that then brings me on to the next method. So this next method you'll hear referred to as doing a reverse ASIN lookup. Now, what does that mean? Well, every product that sells on Amazon has its own unique identifier, and that is called the ASIN. So the plugin I'm using from Helium 10 shows the ASIN here, so you guys can see the unique ASIN for each one of these products. And what a reverse ASIN does is takes a selection of these products, whichever ones you choose, and then it goes through all of those products to look for common keywords, because the chances are if you take a handful of products from the first page of the search results and you analyze those products, you're going to find a lot of very similar high converting keywords that you can then use within your product listing or within your PPC campaigns. So the tool that I'm going to use to do this to show you guys is called Cerebro, and this is available from Helium 10. So what I'll do is go back to the search results for a relevant keyword. So we're using car boot liners here, so we know it's relevant. I'd come down, ignore the sponsored listings because you never know whether a poor product is going to appear here as a sponsored listing. Come down to the organic ones. So we're going to start copying over these ASINs, and I think within Cerebro you can do up to 10, but for this example I'm just going to do 4 or 5. Now if you haven't got this plugin here, you can actually click through to each product and get the ASIN that way. So it's not as if you can't get this data another way, but the actual reverse ASIN, you will want to use a tool such as Cerebro to do the processing. So we've got 4 ASINs here. Let's just grab another one here. So this one's actually the best seller, so let's include that in the list. So we've got 5 ASINs here from the first page of the search results. So hopefully we're going to get some good keywords to use for your product listing and for your PPC campaign. So let me just run this tool now. And you can see here, this has returned a huge number of results. I mean, having 17,800 keywords isn't something you can really work with. So we need to reduce this number to the most relevant keywords possible. So there are lots of filters on here, and I'd recommend taking your own time to go through some of these. Just hover over the eye and it will tell you what each feature does. But to give you an example of the ones that I like to use search volume. So I'll put that at 200. So there's at least 200 searches per month. I also like to use word count, so at least 2 words in the search phrase, so things such as car or boot don't come back individually, so at least 2 words in the search results. Match type, I quite like this one, so you can choose where Amazon's going to pull this data from. Are we going to compare the products for the organic listing? So is the data going to come from organic listings, sponsored, or Amazon recommends? So I definitely want organic, but also in this instance, I'm going to use sponsored, because if someone is paying for sponsored ads and they're going to be on the first page, there must be a reason why they're paying for those keywords. I'm going to leave Amazon recommended blank for now, but you can use that, of course, if you want. And the other one I like to use here is ranking competitors. So make this number 1 less than the number of ASINs you've got here. So we've got 5 ASINs. So I'm going to put, I want at least 4 of these ASINs to have the keyword within that product listing. Otherwise, you're going to end up with this huge unusable list. So let me just click apply filters now, and we'll see how much this list comes down. So now we're down to 233 keywords, which is much more like it. And you can see here, these keywords are super relevant. You just saw from the Amazon auto suggest the type of keywords we were getting. So by doing the reverse ASIN, car boot covers for dogs, car boot liners for dogs, boot liner for dogs, dog boot. So there's some really good keywords. And to be honest, even if you just went with this from Cerebro, this would probably give you enough data to optimize your listing and to put together a really good collection of PPC campaigns. So that is the second method, doing the reverse ASIN. And then the third method is actually just doing a direct database search. So Helium 10 collects various data directly from Amazon and all of the sellers that use the platform. So we have some really good data we can use, which allows you to do the search without actually having to rely on those other listings. So we can do a search based on keywords instead of based on products. So if we come in here and put in car boot liner, as we know that that's a pretty relevant keyword, you've got some of the auto suggest here. So car boot liners is the top one. Click get keywords, and it'll be very similar to what we just saw. We'll get a list of keywords with some filters that we can use to reduce those keywords to a manageable number for you to be able to optimize your product listing and PPC campaigns. So here we are, we only have 3,500 keywords this time, which makes sense as we're not doing a reverse ASIN based on what 6 other listings or 5 other listings have done. This is just using good quality data directly from Helium 10. So I'm going to apply some similar filters here. So at least a volume of 200, a word count of at least 2, and match type at the moment I'm just going to go for organic, so we have the maximum possible number of keywords come back this time rather than being restricted by being sponsored. So we've got 42 additional keywords, which there will be some overlap between this and what you've seen through the reverse ASIN, but this is a good way of being a catch-all because maybe some of the existing listings have missed this. We know that a lot of these sellers are Chinese sellers, so they maybe won't have the insight we do. So this is a good way of ensuring you catch all of those keywords. The other thing that's good as well with Magnet is you can actually analyze keywords. So if you want to go down the auto suggest route, you might come on here and go, right, okay, we know car bootliners is a good keyword to use. And we knew that bootliner, I think, was another one, or bootliners. So we'll put that one in. And then you can put a huge list in. So you can do up to 200 keywords. So if you're doing Amazon auto suggest, you can do that. And this will then return the real world data. And you can decide whether you actually want to use these keywords in your campaign or not. So with those 3 methods, between the auto suggest, doing the reverse ASIN, and by doing the database lookup with Magnet, you should be able to do all of the keyword research that you need to do for your product listing and your PPC. Now, with all of that said, what is the one big tip that I was talking about at the beginning to ensure that you're using highly relevant keywords? Well, before I get to that, if you do want to use Helium 10, we've got some discount codes that you guys can use. We've got FBA Elite 50, which will get you 50% off your first month. And as you see here, it brings the cost down from $99 to $50. So you might only need it for 1 month to do this type of full detailed research. Or if you want to use it long term, which I do for various other things, which I've talked about in other videos, you can use FBA Elite 10, and that will get you 10% off every month. Or the cheapest way is to buy annual, and either one of those discount codes will save you 25% for the entire year. But coming back to my top tip for anyone doing keyword research, if you're not sure whether a keyword should be in your list or not, you need to come on Amazon and actually look through each keyword manually. And this is something that I see a lot of people get wrong. They don't do this. You want to actually make sure that the product that comes back, or the keyword you're using to return product, is relevant to your product. So if I come on here and put in car accessories, I think there's a small chance we're going to see bootliners in here. So I don't want to focus my product listing or my PPC too much towards car accessories. I definitely wouldn't include it in my PPC to start with. I may include it in my product listing. So if you're not sure whether a keyword is relevant, whether you should be using it within your product listing or within your PPC, do the manual search. Don't just rely on the raw data. Do the manual search and then look in the search results to see if these results are relevant. So we're going to start selling a bootliner. Is this a good keyword to use for my car bootliner? Go to the results. Every single one of these is comparable and relevant. So I certainly would include this in my product and in my PPC. So that is the biggest tip. Take the time to manually do that legwork. Go through every single keyword you're thinking about using, put it into Amazon search, and see if the results are relevant and comparable to the type of product that you're looking to launch. Now, if you want to see one of my real world products I'm developing at the moment, I'm going to pop up a video that I recommend you guys give a watch. I show you the exact product that I've been doing research on and have been optimizing, and I plan to launch on Amazon. And I recommend you guys give that a watch.